Are we back? I, anyway, it looks like YouTube just kind of messed itself in the pants. Hopefully, the third time's the charm. Tonight, we are talking Critical Role madness and maybe a little bit of technology madness. But anyway, uh, I'm wanting to ask a basic question of what makes Critical Role so appealing. We're joined with Drac and Seraphis. Seraphis is a used to be fan of the show, is no longer. He'll explain his stance in a minute. And Drac is a current fan of the show. Me, I don't dislike it. I don't love it. I am aware of it, but I don't watch it. And that's what I mainly want to find out is what makes it so appealing for everybody out there that does watch. That said, Drac, you're considered a critter. That's what the fans are known as, yes?
Yes.
Okay. See, we are currently on campaign 4. Is it considered a campaign or is this a season?
Campaign 4.
Campaign 4. Okay. And it airs on Thursday nights?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in a nutshell, as an elevator pitch, if you had to describe it in, this is going to be a tough one, say 10 words or less, what would you say to somebody as to why what makes it appealing to you?
D&D role-playing done extremely well.
Okay. Fair enough.
Some role-playing.
Yeah. And Seraphis, so you used to enjoy the show. I think didn't you tell me, I think at one point that you had watched all of the first season?
Yes, I've seen all the first season.
All the first season. Okay. Is that kind of when you got out of it?
First
season?
It was pretty soon after second season. Although it wasn't technically because of second season, long story, but yeah, it was just after second season, the second campaign started that I got out of it.
Okay. And I'm going to also pop the chat up on here because I would like for, folks in the chat to feel free to chat here and we'll address what you have to say. And yeah, we'll just kind of go from there. So, Seraphis, tell me, in season 1, what was the initial appeal for you for Critical Role?
So I got in very early, like I think their third session, because I was regularly on Geek and Sundry's YouTube page, because of things like the Tabletop with Will Wheaton, and the other kind of showcase shows, talk about games kind of shows and stuff.
Right.
And I can't remember where I saw it, but like a thing came up where they mentioned about Critical Role, and I was like, yeah, I'll check that out. And then I I went to their website and started watching, and then realized that, like, as I was about to start watching the next episode, their current episode was playing, and I was like, oh, I can just watch live. I'll do that. So yeah, I was watching live pretty early on, and what appealed to me was that, because at the time it'd been about 5-10 years since I'd been actively playing, just life in general getting in the way.
Sure.
And so watching them play in that old setup, just tables, snacks, like friends playing a game, basically was nostalgia bait for me for, what my friends and I would do at the school library, playing, Shadowrun, playing D&D, playing BattleTech, whatever we were playing at the time. All of the above, but depends what time of the year.
Sure.
And so it appealed to me in that way. I thought the stories and stuff were fine. I thought the characters were fine. They were their characters, obviously, but it was entertaining to watch what was making me nostalgic for when I used to play.
Oh, that makes sense. Now, Drac, kind of same question. I mean, when did you get into watching? What was the appeal for you that kind of got you into like, yeah, this is cool. And then as a follow up to that, what kept that? What sustained you in all of throughout the remaining season or campaigns?
I joined. I don't know if there are 30 or 40 episodes in.
Oh wow!
So I found it. One of my friends was talking about how much he was really enjoying it, and I was like, okay, well, I'll check it out. And so I went and found where to start from the beginning. And it was just like a bunch of us. It was just like any of us sitting down at a table, and I got a laugh out of fans like sending in donuts and pizza, and I'm like going, "We got what?" But I was just enjoying watching them play.
Wait. Sorry. I'm going to interrupt because I will have questions because again, I have watched maybe 2 or 3 episodes over the years. I fully admit it's something that I've just never been able to get fully into, but you mentioned that fans were sending them pizza and donuts.
Yeah.
No shit. So they would sit there, they're playing, and the doorbell rings, and somebody's got a pizza for them.
Yeah. So they're playing at the Geek and Sundry studio.
Wow.
And I guess the address was public. So there was fans sending like food in and stuff, and someone would come from the back and they'd be like handing out this tray of pizza and stuff. It was like crazy.
Wow.
I was like, yeah, that never happens at my games.
Sorry to interrupt. Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, so I found it was very some of the characters were very typical. You have the big bruiser guy who's dumb, the bard that wants to sleep with everybody, and it was just really enjoyable entertainment.
Yeah.
Campaign 2's more polished. Campaign 4 is very polished. The setting is nice. They walk around it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I guess okay. So, Seraphis, I want to jump back to something that you had pointed out, like that it had that nostalgic feel for you, and to me, from I guess kind of a certain point of view, when I go back and watch ET, for example, where what just happened? Another technical glitch?
Yeah, you get bounced off the screen for a second.
That's awesome. I'm going to move myself back up here. Haha. Anyway, watching ET, there's that scene where, it's just total chaos going on in the, in their living room as they're playing D&D. And the camera is kind of panning all around all of them. One person's on the phone, got a real long extension cord. They're trying to order pizza, or they're maybe eating pizza. It's been a while since I've watched it. But that to me is almost exactly how we would play back then. And when we were more serious about it, fast forward to Stranger Things. And when they're down in the basement playing down there, they're ribbing each other, they're giving each other shit left and right. But it's a serious game. There's no one person getting up and wandering off for 10 minutes, and there's not another person on the phone. There's not another, there are 2 other people they're all there at that table doing something, playing this game. And so, I mean, we experienced both of those sides. So again, Seraphis, what it sounds like to me is that campaign 1 was very much like how we would typically play D&D in the 80s. And maybe that's how, a lot of people play D&D at home now. Me, I'm playing more in a school environment. So that's, that sitting down at the table thing. I mean, yeah, it is a big table, but it's just not like at home,
Mm.
Would that be kind of a fair assessment of what season 1 was kind of like? Maybe not as chaotic as like what we saw in ET, but
I would say, from my experience, yes, to a point.
okay.
Towards the end of season 1, when you start getting movie production value going on, that's when I feel like it started losing it for me. But yeah.
And would you say because that kind of made it less relatable?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Drac, in a similar view and kind of mindset to that, as you had mentioned that as each campaign went through, went by, campaign 1, campaign 2 was a little more polished, campaign 4 is extremely polished. Have you found that the set dressing, the polish, has that drawn you in more?
In campaign 4, yes, because they have a very beautiful room.
Yeah, they do. I admit that.
Campaign 1, when it first started, the audio quality and stuff was pretty shitty. Like, we have better quality here just using our laptops and stuff.
Wow.
Okay, so when they started making money and sound got better and everything, it becomes
Sure.
much more enjoyable to watch. It's easier
Makes
on the
sense,
ears.
Yeah.
I've got a decent home theater set up upstairs that I like to watch it on. And
So
when
you're
it's-
watching it on a big screen?
Oh yeah, I'm watching it on a 70-inch screen with 13 speakers in the room.
So you're not sitting here like with your phone in landscape mode trying to watch it?
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And what is the average length of each episode?
Just over 4 hours.
Oh my gosh. That's just, see, that I think is, I mean, which I get. Okay, yes. I mean, when we sit down to play, we're easily at a minimum playing for 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, on any given Saturday or Friday night, I mean, it would not be uncommon for us to start playing at like 6 p.m. and not finish until like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And not realize, oh my God, we've just been here for 8 hours.
Yeah.
Whoa. So yeah, okay. So playing for 4 hours, I get that. Which that actually kind of brings up a second question that I wanted to ask. As best you can recall, when they get to an end of any given episode, have you ever noticed it to have like, did Matt Mercer usually have it end on a great cliffhanger, wanting you to thirst for more for the next episode, or did it ever end in some really odd or unnatural breaking points?
There was some definite cliffhangers. Definitely.
I would assume, yeah.
But some of the other ones just kind of like, hey, this is a shopping episode. Basically, they spent most of their time role playing and shopping, and then it just ended, and you went on to the next one. So they did a variety of things. Like, it was just like, hey, we need to restock. We're going to Gilmore's. We're buying all this stuff, and they're negotiating for better prices and haggling for every copper they can save. And
Right.
yeah, so there was some of each. Yeah.
So, okay, Seraphis. And so you play in is it a every 2-week game?
Yeah, fortnightly game.
Yeah, every fortnight. Okay. And I realize you guys are playing 3.5, whereas, Critical Role is doing 5th edition.
However, they were playing Pathfinder before they streamed
Right.
it.
That's true. That's true. Have you noticed? I mean, is anybody else in your group a fan of Critical Role? Do they hate it with a
No.
passion, or are they just indifferent?
Indifferent to, I wouldn't say passionately dislike, but just dislike.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, I mean, and like I said, I mean, I'm simply just trying to understand what the appeal is. I personally have nothing against it at all. I think that it's done a lot of wonders for the hobby. I think that it has driven a lot of people um, kind of back into the hobby. Like when they like kind of Seraphis, like what you were saying. With season campaign one. Sorry if I end up saying season one. I understand I'm really trying to mean campaign. Okay, or when I say a season, I really mean the word campaign. I just think of it as a TV show, not a game. So that's in my own mind, my own head hang up there. So forgive me for that.
If only TV shows had 114 episodes again.
Well, and that's the other thing. How many episodes are in any given campaign?
I think campaign 1 was 142 or something.
That's crazy.
Campaign 2 is the same. Like it was.
I mean, that's awesome. It's certainly not a complaint, but that's just wow. That's wild to me. I mean, and I mean, kudos to them for developing something that has become a literal worldwide phenomena. I mean, I know that they've been developing it for a good number of years.
Kurth brings up a good point. They only had studio time until a certain time, and they would get kicked off. So,
Yep.
Huh. Wow. I didn't know that. So really, so they actually had they were like what, renting the studio, I guess?
Yeah, so they had allotment time on Geek and Sundry's studio
Oh,
time.
okay.
Once the show got bigger, and once the donations started coming in and really helping the channel in general,
Right.
they became a little bit more lenient with how long the show went for, which is why you got like some 4-hour shows,
and a couple of
5-hour show. Yeah. But in general, they tried to keep it because they were also thinking of the camera people.
Right. Yeah.
Zach,
The crew. Yeah.
who were the studio manager, which means that if they ended at 11 o'clock at night, that manager has to then drive home and then be up at like 6 a.m. to get
do
in
his
at
normal
7
stuff. Yeah. I gotcha.
to do the studio stuff at like by 8 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
And, so,
And that makes sense. I mean, whereas I guess if the three of us were to sit down and do an online play, I mean, it would literally just be, me running my own camera, you running your own camera, Drac running your own camera and mic, and crossing our fingers that we have a solid enough connection to the internet and that YouTube doesn't crap itself. Yeah. So, I mean, I guess I get that.
that's totally unrelatable. That would never happen.
Oh, it could never happen.
YouTube's solid, don't you know that?
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you're right. You're right. What am I doing? I talking bad about something here. What just off the top of your head, Drac, can you recall like what maybe their longest episode was?
6.5 hours or something.
Wow.
I think
So have they not ever done like a 24-hour marathon session?
No.
Oh, they need to do that. You're hearing it first here, guys. They need to do a 24-hour session for charity. I'm putting the pressure on.
Well, Geek and Sundry did a 24-hour stream of a game of Twilight Imperium.
Okay.
Everyone by the end of that looked wrecked, which was funny.
Oh, I can imagine. I can imagine. So I know that they. Well, let me rephrase this. I was going to say I know that they do, but I don't know for a fact. It is my understanding that they drop all kinds of adult words Is that accurate?
Yeah.
Do we ever see them actually imbibing in adult beverages?
They definitely used to.
Yeah. It was kind of, you weren't reading any labels,
Sure.
but when you pour down here.
Okay. And so did you ever happen to notice any of them like towards the end of the session, like, come on, roll my dice?
No, it was never that bad.
Okay. Never that bad. Okay. Just curious.
Well,
Again,
yeah.
just curious. And is this the same? Was season 1? Is that the same one that had like Vin Diesel come in? What am I thinking of there?
Oh, that's the D&D one-shot things.
Yeah.
Technically, that was during campaign 1, yeah. But he
But
wasn't actually on the show.
But that was a Critical Role group.
It was the critical people from Critical Role, but it wasn't, as I said, it wasn't an episode of Critical Role. It was done more for Geek and Sundry.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I think that's kind of about when that happened is kind of when I started really kind of hearing about Critical Role. And I was like, well, that's kind of cool that, some pretty famous people are showing their geekdom of this hobby.
Well, campaign 1 had a lot of people visit.
Just as guest appearances.
Yeah, the Joe Manganiello was in for a few episodes.
That's right. Yeah.
Which was really kind of cool. But there was a bunch of other actors, like Will Wheaton was on there. There was a bunch of guys on there, ladies too. I mean, like a lot of people were in.
Mary Elizabeth McGlynn.
Yeah.
Do they? I mean, as each campaign has gone by, like 2, 3, have they had some somewhat celebrities on there? I mean, I know that we've got. I cannot remember her name, the actress's name. She was on that TV show in the 80s. And she has most recently been in that other show with the zombies. My brain is just not working tonight.
I'm so glad you could narrow it down for us.
Yeah, I know. Thanks. Right. Yeah. No, she plays. She does the voice. God, what's that video game? Somebody help me in the chat. Come on now, y'all know this. This is some trivia. Not Dead by Daylight. No, not Deborah Ann Woll.
You're talking older actress.
No, she's relatively young. She did the voice. Oh, God bless. It's an HBO Last of Us. That's what I'm trying to think. Last of Us. She was the voice for
Ashley Johnson.
Yes.
She's a regular.
Yeah, she's a regular, but she's also a somewhat famous actress that I just unfortunately couldn't remember the name of. So, I mean, how famous? But yeah, anyway. But that's what I mean. That's what I'm trying to ask is, have there been any other actors or actresses as guest appearances in the seasons or in the campaigns over the years?
Yeah. Will Wheaton for sure. He was in there. Joe.
And this is beyond season or campaign 1?
No, those guys are all in campaign 1. Oh geez, he's a news anchor. Or he had
You talking about Colbert?
there we are.
Yeah.
He was on there.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, he had a cool character too.
How long did he last?
1 episode.
So that was literally just a guest appearance.
Yeah.
Then. I got you. Okay, so now I'm going to take a huge segue and go into a dark turn on this. A lot of people are not, and Drac, I'm not going to ask you to defend it, but I'm going to ask you to defend it. So a lot of people purposely don't like Critical Role. This is where the madness part comes in, because they feel that it creates too much of an unreal expectation for both players and for new players and new DMs, that some players expect every DM to be as animated, as crafty, and as I guess well knowledged as Matt Mercer.
So these people are all the original cast. Sorry, all the ongoing cast. We'll put it that way. They're all professional actors, voice actors,
Right.
Studied theater, what have you. They've got the skills to get into their character, portray the emotion, the voices, and role play as if they're acting on a show because they're fully immersed in their character.
Right.
They do this professionally.
Right.
Like, the acting part. So they can role play when they're in their characters and stuff. They get in like right from the very beginning. They had voices, they had personalities, they had, the ability to really sink themselves into the character and play the part.
And I think that that's something that a lot of folks don't fully understand, that a lot of these guys, a lot of the players, like you said, they are professional actors and actresses and voice actors. And that certainly has to play into it. And let's also not forget, I mean, like Salinan had pointed out the Matt Mercer effect. Let's not forget that they're making boatloads of money doing this. And so, I mean, he has not just himself. I mean, if Seraphis, if you were to create a game, Drac, if you were to create an adventure, it's pretty much just you and your books in your spare time to put that together.
Yeah.
Matt Mercer literally has a team of writers helping him and researchers helping him, because that's how much the money that they're making. He can afford to hire these people to help that. And your average D&D player, your average D&D DM, Dungeon Master, is not going to have access to those kind of resources. And I don't think that a lot of people, and this is where I said, Drac, you're going to have to defend this, but here I am defending it. I think that a lot of people don't keep that perspective in mind. Seraphis, would you think that that's a fair assessment, or am I kind of blowing it out of proportion there?
No, it is. It is somewhat true. Like it's one of those things where I can't really use that example. But it
well, let me present it this way. If you were going to do, let's say, an Eberron campaign, okay? I know Eberron is one of your favorite settings, and you were given 1 hour in for 3 nights to put something together on a Monday, a Tuesday, and a Thursday night to put together an adventure for Saturday. How well polished would that be versus you having all day Monday, all day Tuesday, all day Wednesday, all day Thursday, and half the day Friday? Assume where you'll take half of Friday off for a Saturday game, plus you have 5 people helping you research, write, and somewhat sort of playtest in preparation for your Saturday game. Which one is going to be more polished?
I mean, obviously the latter.
Yeah. So, I mean, and I think that that's something that a lot of people don't really I don't think that they put that into perspective like that. So I don't know that I don't know that I could necessarily agree that there is a Matt Mercer effect. Now, that said, I still just can't really get into it. And that's the core of what I'm asking. Like, why is this show so appealing for so many people? For me, it's the few episodes that I watched. Now I tried to watch the first one of campaign 4, and it started off dramatic enough, you know, and I did like how they introduced each player at specific segments throughout the, like it seemed like almost every hour on the hour is when a new person was introduced. I mean, that's interesting if it was going to be a TV show, but I can only imagine, like Matt Mercer, for example. I don't think they introduced him until like 3 hours in. Well, my goodness.
For campaign 4, yeah.
Yeah, campaign 4, yeah. I mean, my goodness, what? I mean, can you imagine? Hey, we're going to do a live stream. It's going to run for 4 hours, but Drac, I'm not going to introduce you until the 3rd hour. Oh my gosh, I'd be pulling my hair out, bored as hell. And I don't know. I mean, I guess that's part of what doesn't appeal to me is I want to see all these people together at once. And that's kind of what lost me on the first episode was I kind of knew what to expect as far as who was going to be on it. And when they weren't, I was like, well, I guess, is this like a pre-show? Is this actually episode 1? I was confused. But to be fair, that's also me trying to approach it with practically zero knowledge of it.
Yeah. So campaign 4, they want more of a, because of the schedule. Okay, so in campaign 1, they ran into scheduling issues where people had to Skype in and to be there.
Right.
And so they're said they were going to be running into scheduling problems with campaign 4. So they wanted something a little more West Marcha style where not everybody's going to be there at the same time or whatever. And, there's partway through episode 1 where one of the girls has got to leave and she's like, okay, I got to go home now. And she, like her little bit was done and she's like, my character's doing this. And then she got up and she left.
Right. So it's my understanding too, that they're going to be doing, clarify for me a little bit, because I'm probably going to grossly misrepresent this, but it's my understanding that they're doing multiple, I'll use terms of TV show, a couple of spin-offs of campaign 4 in which it's different groups at different points playing, but then every now and again those groups will kind of meet up and intermingle and swap characters out of the party and then keep going.
Yeah, they have 13 players. So at any given time, there's only going to be typically 4 to 8 at the table. So they did this so that they could do the scheduling around, because everyone's still working their other jobs.
Right. Yeah. I mean, they still have, acting gigs and voice gigs and stuff. Yeah.
So this way here, they can be doing whatever they have to do and then go, hey, I got to be back in the CR studio in 45 minutes because I got to sit down at the table for an hour or two and, switch over and go back to whatever they're doing. So this allows them to do that. But the storyline that my understanding is the storyline is designed so that they can mix and match who's at any given table. And they're pushing for 3 types of table. One, a little more information gathering, spy. One, a little more action. One, a little bit whatever.
Yeah, and that's something too that I've understood that similar to the new Forgotten Realms books that are coming out, they're kind of setting it up so that different parts of the realms, and this is how it was even back when the original Gray box set came out, that different parts of the realms of the Forgotten Realms kind of represented a different part of or a different play style. So I mean, you had Oriental Adventures, for example. I mean, that's probably one of the most stark contrasts of play styles. That was very feudal system, and whereas if you went to the Moonshay Isles and played. That was more piratey based. You went to the jungles of Chult, and that was very horror, not so much gothic horror, but horror. My understanding is that's kind of what they're trying to do with season 4 or campaign 4. I don't know why I cannot lock that into my brain. That's kind of what they're trying to do with campaign 4 is, yes, kind of like
Kurth and Selenin have got it right there really well.
3 tables, bashers, investigators, and sneakers. Yeah. So I think that is kind of a neat and interesting take on it. My hang up is I can't seem to get into it. I want to like it, kind of like Fox Mulder, back in the X-Files. I want to believe. I want to like it, but I think for me, sitting down with a chunk of 4 hours is something I don't have. If I want to get caught up, assume I want to tune in tomorrow night live and watch it. I've got to get caught up on 8 hours of watching. I mean, that's great if folks have that kind of time, but I'm using that time to develop my own game, to work on, of course, this YouTube channel. And I don't know. I guess that's kind of my thing is I think that's why I can't find the appeal to it. I want to. And that's kind of the point of this discussion is I'm trying to get people to convince me that I need to watch it, that I need to like it.
I'm not quite done the second episode. I have got another half hour or something to go. The characters that they've made are interesting, especially because they show you the character stats, and they tell you what class they're supposed to be. And there's a couple of there's one character in particular who's supposed to be a priest, and he's got like 10 wisdom. So the characters are interesting, and the actors that are playing them, that are playing at the table,
mm-hmm.
are really putting a lot of effort in to be very emotionally connected when you're watching it. And I think
that's respectful. Yeah, I can respect that.
That emotional investment is what's going to snag people, I think.
In what you've watched in the 7 hours or so that you've watched of the new campaign, how is the new DM? And I apologize, his name escapes me at the moment.
Brandon Lee Mulligan.
Yes, Brandon Lee Mulligan. Thank you. How is his style compared to Matt Mercer's style?
Brandon's turning out to be a really great DM. I didn't really watch his other show, Dimension 20. I've seen a little bits of it here and there, and I was expecting something more like Critical Role, whereas he was doing really short campaigns, and so I catched one episode from one and one episode from another, and I had no idea what was going on. Yeah, so they're similar, but Brandon breaks things down faster, is what I've been told.
Okay.
I don't have enough watching him to really make a good comparison.
Sure.
I mean, they're both extremely talented.
So I want to point out, I really like what Salonen says here. Great thing about it is you don't need to watch it. I listen to it on the commute to work or when I'm doing stuff around the house. And I think that is something. Okay, so my wife is huge into podcasts. She doesn't listen to the radio anymore. She's got, Spotify on her phone. She pulls up a podcast. She'll funnel it through the car, and that's what she listens to nonstop. I'm relatively new to the concept of podcasts, And I realize what we're doing right now, there's not much of a visual element to what we're doing. We're just sitting here BSing and talking. And that within itself could lend very easy to being on a radio and listening to it as you're commuting to and from work or wherever you happen to be going. So in essence, we're doing a podcast right now.
Yeah.
But I think my hang up a little bit is with Critical Role, it seems like the visual helps to sell the viewership, if that makes any sense, because they've got this huge, really neat looking trade dress. You know, they've got this awesome backdrop, this awesome table that they sit at. You know, Seraphis, you were saying earlier that was kind of one of the reasons that you kind of started ducking out of it, is because it started becoming too polished. I got to ask, and you and I have kind of talked about this a little bit, I guess this past Sunday, but I got to admit, I mean, if I had a place like that to play, yeah, I mean, that would be pretty kick-ass, actually. You know, a big table. I mean, I guess as I look around, I mean, I'm looking at one of my little recording areas over here, you know, and I kind of have it set up in kind of a little fantasy motif. And I mean, if I could decorate an entire room like that and play, oh, my players would go crazy for that.
I'm sitting in that room.
Yeah.
So it all depends on what you have and what you can do. I mean,
yeah.
I was able to dedicate a room to books and D&D and, you know, that sort of thing. So for me, it was just a matter of adding to it and slowly.
But I will also say, see, this is why I can't stand myself sometimes, because now I'm going to play devil's advocate to what I just said. Now I think back to what Seraphis, what you were saying at the beginning of this, like what drug you into the first campaign, campaign 1, and you know, the nostalgia feel that watching that scene in ET, you know, hits for me. I mean, I remember sitting at Matt's kitchen, buddy of mine, Matt, and his older brother. And that's where I played D&D for the first time. And it was somewhat chaotic. Bear with me, a little bit of technical difficulties here. There we go. That's not me. I'm not kicking you out. That we sat at the kitchen table and chaos was going on, you know, and we were having pizza. I mean, that just seems like a staple, you know, D&D and greasy fingers and pizza. Just a marriage made in heaven there.
Mm-hmm.
Ice cold Coca-Cola or Pepsi, whatever, Mountain Dew, whatever. Yeah, that's just, you got to have it. But there is that appeal of, you know, sitting in the living room or in the kitchen around the table, dice dropping onto the floor, and just, you know, kind of utter chaos, so to speak. Snacks, you know, grabbing your fistful of M&Ms or whatever you might have. And you almost kind of lose a little bit of that wonderment, I guess, the theater of the mind, by being in an immersive environment. Because at that point, although I will say, and again, this is me playing devil's advocate to my own devil's advocate argument, if you're playing in a tavern setting, you almost kind of can, I think it would be easy to slip back easier into playing a character. I don't know. What do you guys think of that one? I just had a full conversation with myself and argued against myself, for myself,
and then
against
argued
myself.
against your argument against yourself. So I don't
really
know which one you want us to respond to. Your first comment, your second comment, or your third comment. But what a Drac, go.
So like I've evolved from playing in this school cafeteria, playing at mom and dad's table, to playing in a tent, you know, while camping.
Done that, by the campfire, we've done that.
Yeah.
And I fully admit, yes, a handful of dice did go into the fire because they rolled bad.
You know, I this room has changed slowly. The tables have changed from plastic tables to solid hickory.
Yeah.
And we've added things along the way. I got a fridge and a toaster oven and a kettle and a microwave and everything over there. And then go upstairs to the kitchen if we need to. But
Yeah.
it's still, we still order chicken wings in and pizza and stuff. So that's always there. But if you have the immersive, when I turn the music on for like that sort of thing,
Mhm.
it's like training the other people around the table, like Pavlov's dogs. Ring the bell and it's time to start.
Yeah.
And then the music that I start with, depending on what it is, like if I start with combat music, like they know they're in shit right off the hop. Especially when my first thing out of my mouth is, "Hey guys, roll saving throws," and and then okay, we'll roll initiative because you were camping, or because we left off, So I've gone from the, a couple pencils and paper and dice and chasing them across the lunchroom floor in high school to, oh, don't kick that, shit,
Yeah.
down the grade it went.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we have I have almost always incorporated music into my campaigns. My regular rotation of music is the Red Sonja soundtrack, Conan, both Conan movie soundtracks. Um, those are probably my initial first go tos. But Seraphis, is that anything that you guys have ever done in your game, like incorporate music in the background?
Yeah, so I do it regularly. I just wanted to add though, it's funny
Yeah.
that you mentioned those ones that you do for yours because my GM for the 3.5 game, it's Red Sonja, Conan, both Conan movies,
That's funny.
Krull,
Yep.
and oh shit, there was another one. I think it was either last session or the session before. Me and the friend who sits next to me, we were both looking at each other like, we know that we know that bit of instrumental music. What is that? What is that?
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
and then we're like kind of like crossing like movies, and then it was like, oh, it's that. Jim, is that? He's like, turns around, pops up the music. Yep, that's that. Just like,
Yeah, let's see. I've also got Christine in my rotation, and your favorite movie, Event Horizon,
nice.
the
So
soundtrack to that.
I've got a bunch of things in mind that I can run in the background, and then on a separate, and I've got speakers on top of this stand, on top of the bookshelf at the other end that are small, set low, and I got speakers down in my gym, and I set those at a much higher volume, and they're a little bigger, so I got more bass, so that you have and I've got this curtained off, so the sound comes this way, but it doesn't overwhelm you at the table.
Right.
Definitely, if someone opens the curtain for any reason, it's definitely louder.
Gotcha.
But I also run Fantasy Plus, and so I can have a tab open on a tablet or something, and I can have that running separately just on low, and I can use it for weather or
Oh yeah, for sound effects and whatnot. Yeah. So what are some other? I mean, I know that well, I don't know. Is that something that Critical Role uses? Do they utilize music, background ambiance and sound effects and that kind of thing?
They do. And this new one's got a nice subwoofer kick to it because you can really hear it. I have one of their albums that they use for background music as on one of my playlists.
Yeah, I was curious if they had done that too, because I would think that that'd be almost an instant marketing move, for them to have their own music that they've produced and then sell it. That to me would be a no brainer. In y'all's home games, what are some other ambient things like lighting or have you guys ever had like a tavern night, where you've made a beef stew or some kind of stew, and that's what the tavern is serving, and y'all role play, almost LARPing while you eat, but that's also what the characters are doing. Have y'all ever gone into that kind of an immersion?
I haven't. We've done potluck nights and stuff.
Sure.
And we've done breakfasts and that sort of thing, and or ordered pizza or whatever. But like we used to do like Christmas time, we'd have a potluck, and all the big holidays, we'd have different things going on. Or if I was trying to end a campaign because we were running down to the wire for, and things going on with real life where we had to finish this one up and then start another.
Your studio time was almost up for the night.
Yeah. So we would, arrange a potluck and stuff, and then we'd throw an 8 or 10 hour session down, and away you go.
Yeah. Seraphis, how about your table?
No, never.
Just gummy snakes.
Yep, and pizza and other various takeaways. Yeah. Usually nothing from like the Unholy Trinity or anything like that, but like regular pizza shops,
sure,
stuff like that.
I gotcha.
And for those who are unaware, because I know I'm making Australian references here, but the Unholy Trinity are Macca's, KFC, and I guess what you guys in North America call Burger King.
Burger King, yeah. I haven't had Burger King in a long time. They've gotten so damn expensive, and I think the meat is shrinking in those burgers.
I haven't had one in,
I don't know why they even bother calling them a Whopper, because they're just not big anymore.
See, in Australia, Burger King have gotten more expensive, but the beef patty has also gotten bigger as well. So it's kind of like the burgers are better there, but it's more expensive.
Yeah, I mean, they are from what I remember, they are tasty, but
yeah. Well, I mean, we're lucky here because we get the Australian beef.
I gotcha. Yeah, we get Argentinian beef, and I mean USDA. I mean, you get a lot of US beef, but yeah. Anyway, that's a subject and topic for a completely different show. Okay, so
Sunday.
Yeah, for Sunday, sure. Well, yeah, that'd be a good one for them. So I'm going to shift topics yet again. Drac, I think you'll probably be the best person to answer this one. If there was somebody that was on the fence about, actually, 2-part question. First part, in your day-to-day life, how often does the topic of Critical Role just come up? Seraphis, this could kind of go for you too. In your day-to-day life, how often does Critical Role pop up as a conversation piece? Or you hear other people talking about it? Second part to the question, if you caught wind that somebody was on the fence about watching it, would you recommend it, Seraphis, Drac? If no, why not? If yes, what would be the selling point to get them to tune in and watch? That's a packed question right there. So, Drac, I'll let you go first.
A couple of my regular customers at work are hardcore critters.
Okay.
So if they're in, we'll probably talk it.
Okay.
There's a number of my customers that are D&D players, though. And so that'll come up with the number of guys to come in, and it'll be like, have you been playing? Or in one guy's case, his brother plays a lot, whereas he plays a little bit. So they want to know like what's going on and what I've been doing and what I've been writing.
Sure.
So maybe not always Critical Role, but D&D definitely.
Okay.
And if I want to get someone into it, I'm probably sending him to Raj Vox Machina and start them on the animated series, especially if I know they have a short attention span.
Yeah, and that's another one I never could get into. I don't know. Cartoons, it's got to be something special for me, and that one I tried, but it just didn't hit home. So I'm the person that's on the fence, I guess. Seraphis, how about how would you tackle those two questions? First off, is it a topic that comes up in your, in any general day-to-day life for you?
Mainly it comes up in passing at the fortnightly game.
Okay.
And that's mostly because, one, I'm the youngest person there in my 40s. And two, because for some reason they have this inkling that I am attached to several D&D circles of modern D&D and stuff. And so I apparently know things. So I get asked the questions.
So you're the conduit to the modern world.
Yes, and I hate them for it because I don't like it. I don't like it any more than they do. But
so I guess that it might be a touch difficult then to answer. If someone was on the fence, would you recommend it?
I'm going to preface by showing something.
Now we sit here with bated anticipation. He's going to try to show us something.
Yeah, you're...
Okay, hold on. Let me just turn off the background for a second. All right.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
The mini box
Yeah,
set.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I have both of them. I backed the Kickstarter. I have everything from that Kickstarter, right?
Awesome.
So you're a closet critter.
What I'm about... I was.
Maybe that's what I am. Maybe I'm a closet critter. Maybe I want to enjoy it. I want to like it.
So I would tell them to watch campaign 1 because only because if you want to get a feel for what they are going to be doing as actors, it's good to see where they started to effectively where they've ended up, from sitting around the table.
Yeah.
Essentially what a D&D game looks like to what entertainment looks like. If you're going to be into that, figure out whether that's going to work for you. For me, the beginning I like, the ending I don't, which is why I have one of the reasons why I have bounced from Critical Role.
Now, have you tuned in at all to campaign 4?
Yes, I did. In fact, try to watch the first episode, and
what was the turnoff for you?
I was already not a fan of Brennan Lee Monaghan's GMing style. The style of introduction for the characters was not entertaining. I am very over this over dramatic theatrical play of the characters in the story now, and okay, I'm about to get a little bit more hostile.
Go for it.
I cannot stand that fucking North American bullshit.
So, for me, I like good hardcore role playing. Okay, I think that there is certainly a place for it. That said, I also greatly enjoy just the chaos of, like I've pointed out, of like what the scene that we saw in ET. To me, that was the stark difference between watching the D&D play in the ET movie versus the D&D play in Stranger Things. To me, what was going on in Stranger Things kind of lended a little bit more to the role playing aspect of the game, whereas the chaos of what we saw in ET was more just a raw version of the game. But that said, I mean, I really do enjoy a good hardcore role playing session. Not that kind of hardcore role playing session. Again, that's for a completely different video. In fact, that's probably for a completely different platform. And I'm not on OnlyFans yet. So anyway,
But you could be.
But I could be.
It's just an email address for a sign up.
That's true. That's true. It's just a click away. But I don't know. I mean, I again, this is where I have to say that I'm on the fence about it, because I do like to watch people role play, you know, just because it does kind of give me rough ideas. But I also, when I watch a movie, you know, when we're sitting down watching, I don't know, whatever movie of the night is that we're watching, you know, whether it's the you know, new Cobra Kai, or I don't know, we just got finished watching Wayward on Netflix. Whatever we're watching, you know, House, you know, we're still watching House, you know, the TV show.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever I'm watching, I'm still watching the characters, and I'm pulling from them little snippets and bits that I'm going to add into my own personal table and my own home game. You know, Brian, how the hell can you pull something inspiration from the TV show House? Oh, that's very easy. I mean, you know, I could very easily throw an NPC into the game who is an overall ass, but is super intelligent and is 90%, 95% right about everything all the time. That makes for great conflict between NPC and players. So I mean, that's what I look at when I watch stuff like that. So I don't necessarily have anything against you know, these people, these voice actors and these actresses and actors doing role playing, because again, I can pull inspiration from that. But Seraphis, I think you can attest, my brain works really different than a lot of other people. So
I was going to
your mileage may vary.
I was going to suggest something, but Salanan just wrote it out. He said to start with campaign 2. Now, I'm going to say start with campaign 2 for a very similar reason. I'm going to say in the first couple of episodes, you don't have the characters' backstories yet, but they're level 3. So you kind of have to go with it a little bit.
Okay.
But the sound quality is better. And it doesn't have the chaos as what we'd see around in our tables and in campaign 1. But that hissing of that microphone in campaign 1 drives me crazy.
Yeah.
And
I got it.
You know, 13 speakers in my room.
You can feel it at that point. Yeah.
Yeah. I want it to be nice. And so campaign 2 will do it. And Solinan's got a really great thing there where he says, you know, they're level 3 and you get to watch as they build up and that sort of thing. Campaign 2, my bad. Campaign 2, they do that really, really well. The character growth, all the characters have their own personality issues, mental issues, emotional issues, whatever. And you see those arcs go through. So if you want to see character development along with the role play and as their characters evolve and deal with the shit that's been baggage throughout their lives, or attempt to, you'll see that there. There's a little more stereotypical D&D. Okay.
So if I were to do this, start over fresh on Seraphis's recommendation, watching season 1, on Saladin's recommendation, your recommendation, starting out with season 2, would it make sense for me to jump in on season 1 and watch maybe 2 episodes of it, then move over to season 2, watch a couple of episodes of that? Or is there a linear connection between seasons? Like, do I need to watch all of season 1 to understand what's going on in season 2, or are they completely unrelated?
Season 2 is so many years after season 1. There
Okay.
is a bit of carry back over, but not a lot. If you've watched campaign 1 or season 1, whatever you want to call it,
Mhm.
you'll pick up on it right away, and you'll be like, "Oh my god, that's
I gotcha.
oh shit!" And you're way more suddenly you're way more invested in that character because you realize who they are, and they
Gotcha.
were like throwback from the previous one. And there's a few little things like that in there where you're like, "Oh, I really like that character. They're really old now." So if you've never seen campaign 1 in its entirety, you'll miss those little moments. But if you're watching, you're going to watch the players at the table clue in because they haven't got a clue until the reveal happens,
And it snaps in place.
and they're like, "Oh my god, that's."
And it does the same thing hold true between season 2 to season 3?
I haven't finished season 3.
Okay. Well, I mean, what about like to the intro of it, like the first few episodes? Does it have like any connections to season 2 or 1?
There are some because some of the characters are referring back to stuff from campaign 1.
Gotcha.
One of them's from the same tribe. Another one is directly related to another character from the first one, or an NPC.
And so it's my understanding that season 4 is completely unrelated to anything that's come before. It's in a completely new land. It's a new setting, new planet.
Yeah.
So as you watch, I mean, you're learning the lore of this area at the same time that the characters and players are, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's got an appeal to it. But of course, I guess we kind of, well, I was going to say we almost kind of had the same kind of learning of lore from the first campaign 1, 2, and 3, but not really, because they kind of went up and battled against folks that we already kind of know, like Vecna and other NPCs from older D&D lore, right?
Yes. In campaign 1, they visit 4 or 5 cities primarily.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas campaign 2, they start in a different section of the world and they kind of roam around that entire continent plus a few islands and whatnot. And the conflicts that are already going on that continent, they get caught in the middle.
Gotcha. Okay.
So they have a little more they have more in the way of politics.
And
they have more in the way of world events.
Was it Forgotten Realms that they were playing in?
No, they're still in Exandria.
Exandria, that's right. Sorry. Exandria, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a question that I've been wanting to ask. Pure hypothetical, and Seraphis, feel free to chime in on this one too. Purely hypothetical. Obviously, when they started out, they started out with Pathfinder. Through money deals, handshakes, that kind of thing, they transitioned over to 5th edition. This new setting that they're playing in is the new 5th edition setting. Is that, or rule set? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the pure hypothetical. Okay. How interesting would it be to watch a show like Critical Role, or maybe Critical Role itself, using AD&D 2nd edition or AD&D rules, or 3rd edition or 3.5 rules? And we're not going to talk about 4th edition because nobody cares about 4th edition. Thoughts? Opinions?
3.5. There's a couple of things I didn't like about 3 or 3.5, but for
combat
the most part,
takes like 7 years.
I didn't like the sending bonuses to hits and keeping track of all that shit. But otherwise, 3.5 and 5 aren't really that much different. It's not a big learning curve.
Yeah, it's kind of not. I mean, it's mechanically, it's still pretty much, yeah. using that D20 system. So
Three
okay,
just has more options.
Right. So
And the ability to make your own shit.
let's jump back to then like AD&D days, regardless whether it's first or second edition. Would that be? Do you think that would be an interesting rule set mechanic to watch if it was done by the Critical Role group? Again, pure hypothetical question here.
Well, it's still role playing.
Yeah.
And you know, one of my early videos on my channel is explicitly your system is not making your game. And in the same way,
That's right. Yes.
the system that they're playing isn't what, you know, is the entertainment there. It's what they are doing. It's their performance.
Right.
So
they could probably make it, even if it was like Shadow Dark or Numenaria or whatever it is. No, that's a valid point.
I watch a guy who does stream second edition. And I got to tell you that watching the mechanics and him explain the mechanics so that people watching can understand is not like he's got to do it all the time. Because first and second edition, to hit Armor Class 0, Thaco, these different modifiers and what it was, as much as I love it, 5th edition or 6th edition, whatever you want to call the new one, is very simple.
They've definitely simplified things for sure. Yeah.
They've made it newbie friendly.
Yeah. Well, and so you bring up a good point. I think that, I think you're right. I think that more time would be spent kind of explaining the mechanics, reminding people of the mechanics for AD&D. And I'll be honest, I mean, it has been so long since I've played AD&D that I'd have to sit there and just really stare at the rules for a while before it just all kind of came back to me. I mean, we played it for so long that I think it would be like riding a bike. You know, I haven't ridden a bike in 30 years, but I think if I sat down on one, I'd pick it up pretty quick. Likewise, I think, you know, if I sat down to run a game of AD&D, I think I'd pick it back up pretty quickly. Now, getting a new person into it that has only ever played 5th edition, that would be a challenge, I think, to kind of rewire them, because some of the mechanics are just close enough, but so vastly different that, trying to explain it is you must unlearn what you have learned, as you
but you could say that about any kind of change to a system too. Like,
true,
Call of Cthulhu, you know,
that's true. Yeah,
basic role playing is very different to
that's true.
The D20 system.
Are there any Call of Cthulhu live plays that are like super popular?
I don't know what's super popular. I've seen a couple on Twitch.
Okay.
I've never sat through one, but
but like, you know, your dice pool systems like Shadowrun, you know, that's going to be a different way of looking and playing and whatnot too, because like, oh, you rolled like 16 dice, but it only counts if like there's 5s or 6s on them, or negatively if there's a 1.
Right.
Like, you know, it any different system you play, there's going to be a learning curve to it. So this is just me. I don't accept the idea of, oh, we have to keep explaining it to people. No, let them figure it out.
Let them figure it out.
Yeah. Don't keep, and this is going to come from a personal place, but don't keep stopping the game to go over rules. Just play the fucking game.
Yeah. I get that. I mean, we used to have We used to have a saying back when we were doing Magic the Gathering, hard and heavy, doing booster drafts and tournaments and stuff on weekends, where somebody would go, "What does that card do? How does this work?" We used to have a saying. We just shout out RTFC, and everybody knew what that meant. Read the fucking card. What you're wanting, the answer that you want, is right there on the card. I mean, it's written right there in the flavor text of the card. Similar, like Seraphis, what you're saying with the book, I guess this would be RTFB. Read the fucking book. Makes sense to me. So I don't know that I'm still on the fence about it, but I think I will say that I will take, because we've had at least 4 people give the recommendation. Saladin has said to check out season 2. Drac, you said check out season 2. Seraphis, you said check out season 1. And I think that might be what I do. I'll report back, but I think what I'll do is I'll start off with, I'll watch a couple of episodes of season 1 and just see how it grabs me. And I think that was another one of my hangups, was watching. I just picked a random episode to watch, so I didn't necessarily know exactly what was going on. I don't know that necessarily even matters, because if I'm watching it, I'm just kind of watching it to watch and be entertained. But if I want to follow the story, I can see why it would be important to tune into the first episode. So I think that's what I'll do, is I'll sit down, watch campaign 1, watch a couple of episodes. Same thing with campaign 2, same thing with campaign 3.
Now, I have to say that campaign 1 has my favorite characters.
Okay.
And it's the one I love the most.
Is that something that you could watch multiple times?
I'm watching it again, yeah.
Okay. Do you think a lot of fans do that?
The first episode's got like 8 million views, so yeah, they're watching it over.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Huh. Interesting. Well, okay.
Have they edited out the breaks in those?
No, not that I know of.
No. Okay.
Do they have like 10-minute, 15-minute pauses where everybody just gets up and goes to bathroom or whatever?
Yeah, but they play a reel in the meantime, which is the backstory of what has happened with characters and stuff prior to when the stream started.
Okay.
So like you get to hear like the backstory and history of how Percy came along, how what happened with Vex and Vax, Grog, all of them.
Well,
later on, they start doing the fan art that's sent in, and they stream the fan art for their 15-minute break or 10-minute break, whatever it is, and they put a timer on the break, so like if you don't want to watch it and you don't need to get up yourself, you can go, I got 20 minutes of break today. Okay, skip ahead 20 minutes, boom, keep going.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I'm going to say I want to thank everybody that's joined in on the chat. And I especially want to thank my 2 panelists here, Drac. I appreciate you coming in. Seraphis, I appreciate you coming in. I think that we've talked as much as we can about it. I'm kind of grasping the understanding of why there is an appeal for it. I'm still not 100% sold, but I'm at least going to give it a shot. I'm going to at least check it out. And like I said, I'll report back if I have a major epiphany of, oh my gosh, this is the best thing ever. I need more.
One thing, there is a member of the cast that leaves partway into campaign 1. And I got to say, the show gets better when he's gone.
Okay.
And that episode, he's gone around episode 27 or something like that.
Oh gosh, and how many episodes are there again? 140?
40, yeah.
Jeez.
Oh, Drac. Whatever could you be referring to?
Oh,
I wonder.
I think I already know was this a kind of a controversial exit? Is it that guy?
it there's a lot to it, controversy included. But yeah.
Okay. So I think I already understand and know what that all was. Yeah.
He's one of those guys. If he was playing at my table, I would have kicked him out.
Right. Yep. I know exactly what you're talking about then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so I'm going to wrap things up, guys. Drac, do you have any final words?
I want to thank some of these guys that made comments tonight. Some of them provide really nice information.
Yeah.
Salinan, Kurth, these guys, really helped us out with information there on the side. So I want to thank them, and keep rolling dice, guys.
Yeah, keep rolling dice. I like it. Seraphis?
I mean, watch VODO's NPC D&D. It's very funny. Better than Critical Role.
I'm not familiar with that either.
Yeah, neither of them.
If you know VODO, Viva La Dirtly.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Their epic NPC man.
Okay. No,
So
yeah.
They took their epic NPC main characters, and they've been running a D&D live show with them.
Gotcha.
But as the characters progress up, so instead of being the all-powerful or the great garlic farmer or whatever, they're just low-level characters trying to level up.
Okay. Well, and let's see. Seraphis runs a Talking Drek show each Sunday morning, or late. Let's see. If you're on that part of the world, that would be what?
Sunday night. Yes.
It's very entertaining, especially when you have somebody that sits there for 30 minutes and doesn't say a word. But highly suggest.
I wonder what that's like.
It's a lot of fun. I'm just going to say, hey, that's me role playing. What can I say? I told you I like role playing. Anyway, guys, thanks everybody for joining in and watching. I'm going to go ahead and end it out now. So until next our paths cross, may you, every time I hear the word critters, I don't know why. It just popped in my head. I think of the movie from the 1980s, Critters, that was supposed to be like the horror spin of Gremlins.
Yeah.
I mean, Gremlins, if you were a kid and watched it, I mean, that had some kind of horror element to it, but Critters was like the rated R version. And it was just this ball of moving teeth.
Yeah.
And that's what I keep thinking of every time I hear the term critters.
It flashes in my head all the time too.
So anyway, okay. So what I was going to say, until next our paths cross, may you not get bitten by a fellow critter.
Without invitation.
Without invitation.